Good morning, y'all. Welcome to Dogwood Life. It is Richie here. We are back in the shop again. You've seen me busting tires around when we did the winter tires on the pickup. Well, today we've got a slow leak on the van and it's driving me nuts. So we're gonna pull it off. We're gonna see if we can find where the leak is coming from, and we're gonna see if we can't fix it because, well, let's face it, whether we use the van a lot or not, when we need it, we don't need to monkey with it and air up tires and crap like that every time. That's just frustrating. So join us. Let's see what we can figure out. So as you can imagine, obviously the first thing we got to do, we got to get this thing up in the air to where we can get the tire off. Once we got the tire off, then we can actually start doing something with it. Okay. A little higher than I cared for, but it's off on the jack stand so it won't fall. That's what really matters at the moment. That is all lugs off. And along with it, in theory, the tire comes off. We're going to grab a sprayer, just give a little squirt around the bead, around the valve stem, around the face of the tire, see if we can't figure out what is causing our leak. Because, well, no point in taking it off the rim if we don't know where we're trying to fix it. Sometimes it's as simple as along the bead somewhere, but it'd be real obvious. You'd see it bubbling like crazy as we spray around it like this, and we're coming up with nothing for that. So then we'll go along the face and we'll just spray in, and same thing. We're looking for bubbles. We're looking for an obvious of a screw head or something along those lines. Doesn't help when the rim's all packed with snow and ice because it sort of creates a bit of a buffer. But if there's air escaping, eventually you will find where it's escaping from. Oh. Ever so small, but we got bubbles. Like I said, it's a slow leak. It'll hold air for a week, week and a half, 2 weeks, no issues. If you're parked with that spot down, it'll hold air for a month. But that's very frustrating when you need it. But now we have a source, so we can mark that. We can get this off the bead, get inside there, clean it up, throw a patch on it, put her back together. We should be happy again for a while. Let me go see if I can find a paint pen. So we're back to our normal type of situation now. We are going to pull the air out of the tire so we can pop it off the bead. Once it's popped off the bead, we will pull it off of the rim. And then we can get in there with some sandpaper, clean up our area, and throw some glue and a patch in there and put her back together. It's really not a long, time-consuming process. It's just a process, and it needs to be done. Like we've talked about, we don't have the fanciest of tools for it, but we have what we need. And sometimes you just do what you got to do. So we've got the tire off the rim. Went fairly good. Everything's wet. My paint mark's trying to move. That's unfortunate. But I think I got the pretty good idea where the issue was at. Now I'm just taking a look in here. Do I see anything obvious? Otherwise, I really and truly don't. Oh, that's frustrating. Oh. Ah, that's where my paint park is. Perfect. Then I see something. That's easier to work with. Yeah, right there. Let's see if we can't figure out what it is and get it out of there. The tiny little, I don't know if it's a screw or a nail or what it used to be, but that's all she takes. Then it's cleanup time. Put her back together. Handy dandy patch kit, comes with glue. And a huge assortment of patches for just about anything you can imagine. And in a bind, I've used these on my rubber boots out on a job. That was special, but it got me through the day. There you go. Oh, that's good. A little bit of sandpaper, clean it up. She'll be good as new. No time. So you can see the damage part. It's right there. So we're going to put some of our rubber cement in there. We're going to let that sit for a few minutes. And then as this starts to dry off, then we will set our patch in there. Give it a good push down to seat it in good and hard. Let it cure for a bit. And then we'll reverse the process. We'll put them all back together again. And as it goes, man, I sure hope this is end of this problem. Can't see how it wouldn't be. There's a very definite issue that we've resolved. All right, we're going back in. Sort of pat it in there a little bit. Let her sit for a bit, like we said. And then we'll pressure it down good and hard. And it should be there for the duration. I don't think it'll come back out. All right, so it's starting to cure in there. You can see it's not looking as wet and that anymore. Give it a good push down all the way around. Oh, she's still got a little bit of movement to her. We'll give it a little bit longer yet. But I do think that that's going to have her seated in there. We should be good. And I think it's to the point where we can start putting it back on the rim. So what we'll do, we got some good just soap here. We're going to put a good bead of soap just on the bead. Run a soap on the bead. You know how it goes. Can't hardly talk some days. What that soap will do is it'll just help this just slide right back onto the rim fairly effortlessly in the grand scheme of things. Like that. It's always cool when you don't always have to have all the tools to put it back on. That's a good sign. I'll soap this back up again. The other thing doing the soap will do is it will help the rubber mate back up and prevent bead leaks in the future. Just got to make sure you keep that bead down on the opposite side, down in the groove, so you're not having to stretch everything quite as far all at once. That makes a world of a difference when I remember to do things the right way. Definitely helps. Bang! Thing of beauty. Let's put the valve stem back in it, throw some air at it, see what it does. Actually, let's keep that valve stem out for a moment and put some high pressure air to it, high volume air to it, before we get too carried away on ourselves. Neat thing about working with these small little tires, they do tend to go back on the bead a lot easier than those big tires, like on my 110 the last time we were doing this. Thing of beauty! But I do love being able to do projects like this that I don't always have to go straight to, well, let's pay a shop. I don't want to pay a shop when I don't have to. They're expensive. I get it. That's their business. But I don't want to spend the money on things I don't have to. So if I don't have to spend the money, I'm not gonna. That isn't quite where it needs to be yet. There we go, I think that's that. That's better. We'll rotate her again, make sure everything is sat down nice and tight. Looks good. That makes me happy. We'll lift her back up. We'll get the jack stand out from under it. We'll double check a few of the other tires while we're here and we got the equipment out, because it's always kind of silly to not make sure everything's aired up at the same time. Alrighty, so at that point, all the tires are on spec and where they need to be. This one's mounted. I'm going to retorque it when I get back home with my actual torque wrench. Right now I just gave them a couple of ugga-duggas, about to where ballpark normally is with this equipment. And yeah, that should be a wrap. Just got to clean up the shop, put things back away where they belong, and I'm out of here. So you have yourselves
Wonderful time for that mic to die, but you know what? It was right at the end of the video. It's kind of amusing to me, to be honest with you. Just wanted to say I love you all. Thanks for watching. And don't forget, we get 2 more subscribers, and we'll be doing that giveaway on that hat. So stay tuned for that. Like, share, subscribe. Mention it to your friends if you like what you're seeing. Appreciate all the support, and we will catch you later.